Dorothea Puente, born Dorothea Helen Gray, holds the chilling title of the Death House Landlady. She was born in Redlands, California to Trudy and Jesse Gray on January 9, 1929. At 8 years old, her father died of tuberculosis. The following year, Dorothea's mother was killed in a motorcycle accident, sending her to an orphanage. By the age of 16, she had married Fred McFall, a GI returning from World War II. Between 1946 and 1948, she had had 2 daughters, but decided not to keep either of them. When McFall divorced her, she began to forge checks, in which she was caught and served 1 year in jail with 6 months of parole. After her release, she married Axel Johansson, but was arrested back-to-back, first for owning and working in a prostitute house, and second for vagrancy. She then began working as a nurse's aide, which allowed her to steal from the elderly and disabled. She divorced Johansson in 1966 and began a 2-year marriage with Roberto Puente. Upon her 3rd divorce, she decided to buy a 3-story, 16-bedroom house at 1426 F Street in Sacramento, California, where she would later begin running a boarding house for people with disabilities. She would go to local bars and prey on older men, forging their signatures to receive their security benefits. Once again, she was sent to a state prison, this time with 34 counts of treasury fraud. Her more notorious crimes began shortly after, when she opened her home as a boarding house. She took advantage of her clients by stealing their security checks, forging their names, and later killing them. Alberto Bert Montoya was one of her tenants, and he was reported missing by his social worker, which caused a lot of suspicion, and police decided to investigate the last place in which he was seen. At first, police only saw a sweet, caring old woman, but as they investigated the property further, they noticed that the dirt in the backyard had been recently disturbed. They began digging, and to their surprise they found the remains of a human leg. While the investigation of the house took place, Dorothea skipped town and headed to a bar in Los Angeles. One man recognized the killer and called the police. She was charged with 9 cases of murder and was convicted of 3. She was found guilty and was sentenced to life in prison without parole, but she would continue to plead innocent until the day she died. Many neighbors continued to sympathize with the sweet grandma-like woman that lived on F Street with them. In her last few months of prison, she met up with Shane Bugbee and wrote a cookbook appropriately named Cooking with the Serial Killer. She stayed at Central California Women's Facility until March 27, 2011, where she died of natural causes at the age of 82. Without forensic science, Dorothea's trial may have had a different outcome. When the leg of the first body was found, police had to call in a forensic anthropologist to help the investigation. The anthropologist dug up the remains of the bodies and sent them to be DNA tested. They confirmed the identities of the body were the people who went missing. Without this crucial step, it would not have been confirmed that these were the people who disappeared after staying at Dorothea's house. Toxicology reports found that the drug Dalmane was present in all of the discovered remains. Dalmane is a prescription drug used to help people sleep. When used with alcohol or consumed by the elderly, it can prove to be fatal. Surviving boarders included testimony in her trial that she tried to force it upon them as well. Along with this evidence, a forensic handwriting expert confirmed that the security checks had been forged and that Dorothea was the one who signed them.